Hello everyone. How are y'all doing today? Hopefully doing well. Looks like everything's running smoothly. Excellent. Today we are going to be working on our indie horror game. I appreciate y'all's patience as far as yesterday, but I feel a lot better today. So hopefully we'll be able to get a lot done, actually. Let's see, there you are. Actually, where's the... Hello, where are all my different things? There we go. Much better. So this is the map that we have going on right now. Oh. And as far as decisions that we have potentially made, we have, let me pull up my Excel sheet, because of course I have an Excel sheet. Who do you think you're talking to here? Why is it like this? Hello? Why are you all janky? What is this? Why is this? Hold on. We're just gonna boop. What? Why can you? There we go. There we go. Boop. Now I'm gonna reopen it real quick. Gotta reopen the last call hub. And now and new. Boop. There we go. All right. So we were talking about the major decisions as far as what kind of locations we want to add and interactions, etc. Honestly, at this point, I kind of just want to make the map. I think we've gone over it long enough. I think we're just going to add what we can, and then as we gameplay and try it out, we can kind of add and remove accordingly. If we need to shift things around, we'll shift things around. But for the most part, we need to figure out how we want to distribute these locations. Maybe not the alcohol store. Let's say these locations, right? So with this, let's make sure. Yep. Okay. So we have the community center in the middle, and I had the example of like the park is kind of surrounding the community center, right? Let's see here. Let's erase this. One, way too big, right? Way too big. So we'll have woo. Must have been something else I was working on. That is so dark. Why is it so dark? There we go. So we have community center. Okay, this is what I'm thinking. Because over here is initial infection, right? I for initial infection. I think there has like almost like a road that leads out of town from that direction, right? And then we would probably have a bunch of other houses in the area. So I'm thinking we have maybe like 4. We have like here, and here, right? Because we want the infection to spread and we want it to be fairly random, but we don't want it too random. So giving it as 3 potential different options allow it to kind of potentially go into three, I wouldn't say completely different directions, but for the most part, we're splitting them up accordingly. So we can go to different houses, and then over here, I think we can add our first landmark. Should we have maybe the general store? General store. So the general store is here. And then that means we have kind of like a handful of houses near it. Right? Then we have, I'm thinking over here is where we have the school. And then just like, we'll have like, we'll have squares be houses. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And we want 23 houses. So we're going to have to cut it down just a good amount. So what do we got? We're going to do hardware store. I feel like the gas station, car repair, I would even say it's over here. Gas station. Well, what if we do the gas station? What if we move this stuff maybe over closer towards the middle top area? What'd I do? Okay. And then over here we have the gas station. Because what if we made it so that, like, this is an exit, like how you leave, but this is also another way how you leave, right? So the reason you can't just have people going out that way is because it turns out that the start of the infection is near one of the entrances, so you only have one entrance left. And as far as the feeling of no escape, I don't want that to hit until like near the end of the experience. I don't want it to be like in the middle. I'd want it to be near the end, where it's just like, oh no, like that sense of just like we've lost. And then there's like a couple of housing and stuff in this area, but a lot more spread out. But it's like the last line of defense, and then boom. I will say if the general store is there, the school is up there. I think cable company should be like down here. Actually, no. I want the abandoned buildings down here. I wanted the abandoned buildings in one of the more, like, isolated corners. Community center. Park. And then almost like over here we're gonna have like the church. I think down here is gonna be more of the like business sector. So this is gonna be where the hardware store is. Laundromat. I don't want to make it like a big building, but like a bigger than a house. Laundromat. But even that, I would put more towards maybe the edge. And then here we do the hospital. That could be interesting, where the hospital is nearby the community center, and there's like a road that kind of goes in, and then you can quickly get into different areas through the community center. But if you lose the community center, then you lose that like straightforward thing, yeah? You lose that path that allows the a way to like get through simply. That could be interesting. Well, if we're gonna go that route, we want, let's see, we want the community center. Oh, let's change the selection here. Oop. Way too big. Way too big. We would want it more like over here. Or maybe it is the center. Because we want the center, community center, to kind of be in the middle. Well, we can make the roads a little more convoluted, right? We weren't planning on doing grids anyway. So instead of, let's see. We'll have lines be roads. Little squares are houses, rectangles are points of interest. I like abandoned buildings on the bottom left. I like the school on the top right. There's everything in the middle that I don't like. Then we'll actually go ahead and take this. Make it go down a little bit. All right. Now, gas station, there's thing, there's some more housing here. We can actually probably put the laundromat down here, kind of like right here. Or maybe the laundromat should be up here. But there's a lot of like residential areas. Because that's the thing, right? Because usually you have a residential area and then a commercial area. Usually they aren't necessarily mixed, but they're often close by. So you would want, like, as far as the school, you would want the school to be close by the residential area because people are going to want to be near the school. But having like a general store and then a bunch of housing. How you doing, Lux? Have a good weekend? It was good. I needed the day off. I honestly think I was just having like a bad day, I think, overall, just emotionally speaking. So I kind of just needed to take like a break and just moments of reflection, stuff like that. But like everything's fine. It was just I just needed to self-care. You know what I mean? So hopefully your Sunday was better than mine. The laundromat being near the residential makes a lot of sense. I would actually put the laundromat near the general store, now that I think about it. So when I think of like a general store, I think of like, okay, grocery store. So people would want to live near a general store. Should we kind of copy what we did with the school with the general store, where we have a general store and then like a lot of residential housing kind of thing? I think we can have the laundromat near that. Maybe we can have the abandoned building. Like up here? Maybe something like that. Spend all day Saturday and Sunday fully completing Saints Row 4. Nice. I think Saints Row 4 is the one I played. Is the Saints Row 4, is that the one where you're president? Because if so, it was a lot of fun. Yeah. Yeah, the church and the abandoned building being in the same location makes a lot of sense. General store, hardware store being a lot of sense. Hardware. Where's the cable company? Where are we putting that? We can put that near each other. Right. What's going on? Why can I not draw? Oh. Am I drawing? But yep. Okay, that's what I thought. Yes, on the spaceship. Yep. Hardware and cable company. So, how many housing do we have? 23 houses ish. We might just go up to 25. Who cares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Those are all the houses. These are all... We have all our pieces now. Actually, let me grab my drink. Water. This is your reminder to stay hydrated. Now, we have all our houses on here. We have all of our points of interest. You wouldn't really have abandoned buildings. What if we flip this a bit? Have abandoned buildings in the church be kind of like down here. But then you would have... Make this just a little bigger. The laundromat, the general store, a lot of the housing. Oh boy. Okay. Well, that was really big for no reason. And bring that. Cancel. Because we want to bring the general store and the laundromat up here. Because then you have the school, you have the general store, you have a lot of the more residential on the top ends, and then you'll have like the church, the abandoned buildings, the hardware store, the cable company, and the hospital more on the bottom, but a much more sporadic kind of housing throughout. But I guess the question is, because we have to think about the decisions that we want players to have to make, right? We have to think about the decision tree of... Which is why I kind of liked having the school on one side and the general store on the other. Because then there's something important on both sides that, if lost, would bring a lot of problems as far as infecting households. So let me also get my caffeinated drink. Just in case. Wonderful. Okay. So it would make sense that the hospital is nearby, like the fire truck and ambulance, right? So if we go ahead, have this down like down here. Dang it. Okay, no, we're good. We're fine. I keep trying to move it when it's not. When I need to do that. Yeah. Let me go ahead and. And bot. Goodbye, bot. I was like, can I do that on OBS? No. Pretty much. Oh, I do plan on having eventually like an animation done. So I believe it's gonna be a Sylvester one, where they're gonna look like they're gonna eat the follower, or not the follower, but eat like the person that was banned. Because I think that's really cool. And I like the idea of like, okay, we'll have the deletion / banning be also part of the process. So hospital nearby the ambulance and fire trucks makes sense. Should the ambulance and fire trucks be different from the center? A part of me wants to say yes. Let's put it here for now. Firehouse. Because we learned, we did end up learning that the ambulance do not stay at a hospital. They stay at the firehouse. So having all this stuff over here is fine. Do we want symmetrical? Because if we make it asymmetrical, it makes balancing a little more difficult. I keep going back and forth on the general store. Honestly, the laundromat in my brain is kind of the same as the liquor store. It's kind of like it's essentially a quote-unquote house. Like, it doesn't really do a whole lot, but it could be interesting nonetheless. So if the general store has a laundromat, then funnily enough, I want to say like the hardware store. Which sounds so bad. It sounds so bad to have a liquor store with a hardware store. That sounds like a bad time. But we could have liquor store be near a church in the abandoned buildings. It's like the run-down part of town. Only a few houses are there. You have abandoned buildings. You have an abandoned like factory. We have a church, and then we have liquor store. So kind of like... And then we have like... Right. But then you would have the general store hardware store down in the bottom area here. And then the school on the top. Do we think the rundown part of town is more closely related to a general store or a school? I kind of want to say school, to be honest. Like people try to set up something? No. I like the idea of the school being up top. I like the idea of the laundromat, like the general store and laundromat down here. I'm thinking like right there. It's for the school. And then the hardware cable company can be like on the top. Oop. I'm like, what did I just do? Thinking like hardware. And then cable company. It's like it up in this corner. I feel like this map just needs to be a little bit wider. Or, you know, I'll probably make the icons quite a bit shorter. These are just generalizations here. Like the hospital's not gonna be this big. Let's go ahead and... Right. So we have the hospital, we have the firehouse and stuff in the corner. We have like... like the laundromat. Kind of like down here. And then the general store. Kind of like right here. I will say it's kind of grouped the points of interest together a bit. I kind of feel like they need to spread out a bit. We'll have like kind of like that. A couple housing over here. Do I want housing near the edge? Maybe the housing near the edges can be the... What's the opposite of a red herring? Where it's like, it looks like a thing, but it's not a thing. Instead, it doesn't look like a thing, but it's a thing. Siren? Let's see, siren, I guess. I don't know why some of these squares are darker than others. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We have way too many houses. Is there another chat somewhere? What do you mean? What other chat? As far as I'm aware, it's only just the one you're talking in. Or are you talking about when I was mentioning the OBS? Where I was trying to figure out how to, like, ban the guy. the bot. Let's see. Sounds like you're talking to another group of people. Thank you for the follow. No. It's just me. Is there an echo or something? It's just me in here. I'm just more or less talking. I'm thinking out loud more than anything else. I'll have you know that. Okay. Yeah, I am very much thinking out loud. I have a tendency to do that. So I apologize. No, yeah, there's way too many houses here. But basically we want a lot of housing near the school. We want a lot of housing near the general store. The laundromat's near the general store. We have the hospital and firehouse near we are. So all the emergency kind of things are like, there's like a square of emergency. And then we have like the exit to the, like how to leave on both ends. But this is the start of the infection. In the upper right corner, we have a cable company that we can use to send out an emergency broadcast system. We have the hardware store. So we have like points of interest that we want to defend on one corner, and then on the other corner we have, I wouldn't say points that we'd want to defend, because the abandoned buildings is just more or less, there's going to be more opportunities for things to go wrong in that corner. But do we, what reason can we give the player the agency to defend that location? Like, what's the cost if they lose it? Because if the choice is between lose the hardware store, thus losing the people's ability to defend themselves, or lose an abandoned building and maybe a couple of teenagers that were there when they really shouldn't have been, I feel like taking aside the moral quandary, I feel like the answer is fairly obvious from a gameplay standpoint. So we would want a reason why you would want to defend the bottom left besides just moral implications. and we can make it so that there's no housing between the general store and the laundry and the locations on the left. So if that area gets taken over, it's just a straight shot to the general store, and then now you have a big problem. Now you have a problem where they now have access to a whole lot of residential areas that they didn't before. Okay. It's not terrible. So we don't want no housing in between these two. Hospital, emergency kind of square. We have cable company on the top right. We have hardware on the top right. We have a school and general store that have residential. And then we just kind of have some... Ooh. Let's go ahead and pop that focus. Do not disturb, baby. Hey, enough with the Discord. Enough with the Discord. Enough, I say. I always forget to turn that on before I start hooking up my my iPad to the stream. I wouldn't say all my friends. Some of my friends are they are playing the new Destiny expansion, so they've been kind of talking about it a lot, going back and forth, trying to raid. Anyway, and then some housing to kind of sprinkle it in, which is actually exactly what we want. We don't want a whole lot of defense in really important areas in the beginning of the game. This location here is almost like a post-tutorial tutorial. You know what I mean? It's the onboarding of, like, before they even get to this, we haven't allocated any time to make a tutorial. We'll get to that. But, like, just a little bit of an introduction of, okay, the calls are coming in, you're determining which ones are fake, which ones are real, sending the appropriate... Thank you. Appreciate it. I would say I don't need it. I might need it. What was I saying? Oh, like what is real, what is not real, sending the appropriate ones, accidentally making mistakes, but there aren't any huge consequences for getting it wrong near the beginning. Whereas if we threw, like, the school, like, right up here, like in the first part of the infection, and then you don't really understand what you're doing, and you get punished by having a main objective, I wouldn't say main objective, but like a more important location being taken over, and then things go really chaotically out of control, that's gonna feel shitty. That's gonna feel really shitty to just go and fail when you don't really know, when you don't have your feet on, like, your, what's the, I was gonna say the feet underneath you. Is that even a phrase? When you are still trying to figure things out, you don't want to throw too much. And, you know, maybe we could add a little bit of extra little oomph to it, in that we can kind of plan around people who obviously know what they're doing and are doing really, really well, and we have like a ramping of difficulty in the background to kind of really push the people who know what they're doing, right? I think we'll have to come across that when we are faced, or when we are designing, rather, the actual coding for when people leave. You make games at Roblox Studio? Oh, that's awesome. Godot has been a transition. It did take me a hot minute to kind of get my bearings with it, but I have like minimal kind of experience as far as making games. I've like partially made games in the past for like game jams and stuff like that, so I have like some coding experience, but this has been a very insightful learning experience so far. I've been liking it. It's been a lot of fun. The bug fixing has been a transition, but overall, like this is great. And that's awesome that you've made some games, dude. Let's see. So let's make a slightly, let's make this just like a little bit on opacity. Is that really? A little more. And we're gonna try making the roads real quick. And then what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go and put all this on opacity again, and then actually make the roads, or make the final version of it all. Bronx, Queens, based in New York. Hold on. Let's see here. Bronx, Queens, Roblox. Oh. Interesting. Is it just Bronx, Queens, or is it like Welcome to New York City, Bronx? Because I'm seeing a few mixing. Excuse me very much. I see Bronx, New York. Interesting. I see South Bronx. Where is Landlord the Bronx too? New York Trenches. Okay. I didn't realize there were so many different ones. Granted, it is New York, so I guess it makes some kind of sense. But that's awesome. I kind of love, as far as the way that Roblox has done things, to give people the opportunities to make games in a very easy to like get into medium. Not necessarily like there is, you know, you didn't have difficulty in the way. It's just Bronx, Queens, it all together. It's GTA game style. Awesome, dude. Awesome. All right. So we have the gas station. Actually, let's switch the darker hue. The roads. That will kind of make it stand out. So we have the gas station here. And then we will have like a left turn. What it would look like if it was made in Unity. Give it a shot. From what I understand as far as Unity, I have some experience in Unity. Especially New York and Unity. There's probably a lot that you could do with it. So is it just like GTA kind of gameplay, or is there like a little twist to it, or is it just more or less kind of like explore slash, I wouldn't say RPG, but essentially RPG, you know what I mean? And then we would have the hospital here, like firehouse here, and then we're down here. I think makes some sense. And then a gas station goes off there. I almost want to say that, do we want a hardware store near the edge of the city? Not hardware store, a house? kind of like this. And then hardware. Yeah, I'm gonna say, oh, dang it, I drew it on top of it. Damn layers. Damn layers. Let's go ahead and go back to this, and we're actually going to rotate these. Degrees. And we're gonna put it. We're gonna do it this way because there's a little twist to it, and have a phone GUI so I can spawn in cars and there can be BMX too. That's awesome. Sounds like fun, dude. What made you decide to want to make it? You just want to kind of like give it a shot, or what? What inspired you? Ooh, what if we have like one house here? Cable company, hardware store there. And then we would have like a little house, like right here. We've been making Roblox since 3 or 4 years. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Are you gonna continue going into game dev? Is there a specific part of game development that's kind of caught your eye? What it was right here. We would have the hospital go this way. That's where we're located. Firehouse. We would have like housing maybe here. We have the gas station right here. Kind of like a hardware house there. And then for the most part, we would want, because we're going to be bringing things out of this location, right? So we would want to create a very streamlined, straight thing of like, hey, I need to go all the way from here to here, right? So we want to create a system so it feels like it's just a straight road, at least when things are going well. Roblox Studio 1 and Unity has well. Oh. Awesome. So, especially with the community center being open, I like the idea that trying to keep the community center allows you to have a much more straight path to get to where you need to go. So, it could be like, excuse the awful lines. Or what if it was like maybe something like this? Right? That if this closed off and you can't have access to it anymore, then you would have to go, you would have like these other side roads that we would be like boom, and then boom, and then boom. Laundromat. I'm building an underground subway station for the game. Awesome. That's really cool. Are you gonna have kind of like a sim kind of deal? this up. The bottom would go into like the general store. Kind of like the general store slash, and then it would be like almost like a swoosh. I think it becomes more swishy when it's like suburban, you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, you have a lot of different houses and a lot of kind of like a cul-de-sac kind of feel to it. How I like to describe it, highly inefficient roads, where they kind of like do this little motion where they're just like woo woo woo. So now in order to go to like this house over here, it's just like, oh my gosh, why is it so bad? Oh gosh, that's my idea. And also be job building to earn money to buy other things in the game, like upgrades for the subway. Or is it like, so is it like you own the subway train, or maybe do you own like that subway like stop where you can like upgrade seating and lighting and flooring or whatever? Or is it strictly like a train where suddenly you're more efficient, or you can hold more people, or things like that? And then up here, it's kind of directly into the school. And then this is also like kind of like that, I want to say, as far as for houses and trains too. Nice. Love a good progression system. And then over here, it's kind of like a little more spread out, a little more jank. And then it's like that leads to the church. That leads to the liquor store. That's how you get out. Kind of like that. Where over here on the left isn't a whole lot. It's just a bunch of like older housing. Like you can see how it grew a little more into a town. Or maybe the older town is kind of on the west side, and they kind of built east to make it more and more recent. I don't know how I feel about this kind of situation going on there. But I think it's like, do I like this road system is the question. Open world, so maybe I put a barbershop building script that I can get other hairstyles. Yeah, definitely. So as the person in the game, are you riding the train? Are you driving the train? Or are you just owning the establishment and you're just kind of like checking up on your profits? And then gotcha. Listen, personalization, people love that shit. People love that shit, so like go for it. Abandoned buildings, church. We have like a few houses here and there. I want to have less and less houses as we move to the southwest, because that's kind of like the broken down area of the town. The northwest is the older part of town where you have more... There will not be a train in my game, unfortunately. Especially with the feeling of like nowhere to go and feeling trapped. It feels counterproductive to add a train to the process. I did consider like an old train track as kind of environmental of there used to be a train that drove through here, but no more. It's kind of like environmental storytelling kind of deal. But no functioning train. I have considered bus though. I did consider a bus, and whether or not we can play around with that. But I'm not sure how I feel about it. Do I like the idea of residential housing being around a school? Because I've heard of residential housing being near schools, but not really like, oh, they just built around the school. We can play with it. We can see how it's going to turn out. And then the community center will be kind of the straight way. Will there be a basement in my game? No. This is very much just a 911 operator simulator with a horror twist to it, where you're trying to determine the caller if they are an actual person or not, and then you try to save as many people as possible before eventually failing until you are the last one alive. Abandoned school turned into a house. Yeah. Well, I mean, the school is supposed to be like a community center. Oh, yeah. Wait, we combined the school and the community center, didn't we? Oh. Yeah. So no basements, unfortunately. However, in a horror game, it would be easy to assume. I mean, I guess what we could do is stick with the school being the community center, and then just have the middle just be the middle. Well, I guess what we could also do, let's see here. If we didn't make this a community center, but instead just like a roundabout, it's like this is the town roundabout. We could make it so that like stuff is here, 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 and here. Like laundromat and liquor store, and I'll probably have to think of two other potentially options here. We could. I don't know. I liked what I had, and now I'm just like, crap. maybe not. I don't know. I also want to add, it could be a Slenderman horror game, like you be in the woods and find keys to unlock doors. Yeah. I love the Slenderman era of horror games. Find the pages. They're pretty good. Oh, okay. Let's do... kind of wanted... Oh. Okay, we were using the same one. Alright, I'm fine with that. Because I'm thinking like, what? I want a circle. If that's the case, I want the circle to be the other way around. I don't want the loop of the cul-de-sac to be leading to an abandoned area / liquor store. That's not... Could be something like that. There needs to be more space between this. We'll do this for now. And then see how it goes. Hardware, house over there. I'm not the biggest fan on how this is done. What if instead we have that, and then we have almost like a row of housing, because there's a, at least in the I wouldn't say cities, but there's usually a point in really busy roads where you kind of are driving down this road to get to inside the city, and it's just a long stretch of just housing. And I'm thinking maybe we could do that here. Maybe. So if we did, we would have a couple housing here. Like right here, then like right here. We'd have a house like right there. And I'm thinking like, well, I guess what we could do, instead of the community center in the middle, it could just be a roundabout. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Instead of the community center, we could just have this be just a park. This is just a park in the middle that people can drive through and around the roundabout. Ooh, hold on. What if we have this be like a statue, right? Like the founding member of the town, the person who founded the town, and there's just a big statue in the middle of the town honoring the founder of that small town. That sounds pretty realistic. That they would have that kind of, I wouldn't say honor, but loyalty? I don't know. A word that sounds probably similar to either of those. So then we would have like a statue in the middle of this. That just looks like a penis. I'm erasing that. That's a penis. Guy on a statue. There we go. So we have the statue in the middle of the town with a roundabout, surrounded by a park, because we want to keep the park for the creepy ice cream truck scene that we want to do. And then we have two different kinds of neighborhoods. We have the neighborhood that's near the school, and then the neighborhood that's near the general store. And then we have the area that's kind of more abandoned. What if we kind of move the church and liquor store more towards the middle left? Sweet Tooth reference? What even by that? So what if we did... Oop. Kind of like the church is right there. Then we have the liquor store, kind of like right here. Because losing the church doesn't really do a whole lot. It could also be I could see that being a good first first try, an attempt to stop a landmark being taken over. Where it's like it kind of adds the creepy atmosphere. And yeah, that's not terrible. We definitely need to change this up though. And then we have liquor store. Do we want roads to lead to the abandoned? Maybe we can talk about Dirt Pass a bit. It could be like a liquor store, and then it's like, right? And then, what do we want here? Or do we want anything? Because I was like, oh, there needs to be space between the liquor store and the residence there. If this is the case, then we would probably do something like... something like that. And then we would have like housings and stuff happening over there, but there wouldn't be any roads. You would have like some like stuff here, but you wouldn't have an actual road. That's not terrible. I'm also thinking that maybe this could be a little dirt path there. So we got the hospital. We have essentially the emergency squad on the bottom right. That's where the player is going to play, right? Then we're going to have the infection on the top left. We're going to have fairly open spaced houses, giving the player a chance to kind of learn how to pick up on cues for the calls that are coming in. And then you have... Sure, then you have like the first introduction of taking landmarks such as the church, liquor store, that is kind of further down, and then eventually you have abandoned buildings in which pretty much for the most part you don't have to worry about. And I like the idea where the player assumes that you don't have to worry about it because there's no road that leads to it. At least no official road that leads to it. Until you get a call saying that teenagers snuck in and that things went wrong and you're going to have to send some people over to that location. Well, I guess... maybe something like this? Because if we're going to send the police officers and the emergency personnel to the locations, they need a place to go, especially if you're going to code it so that they can only move along side roads and not dirt roads. So unless we also code it that they can go down dirt roads, maybe it's like slower. That's something that we could potentially code in. But for the most part, this is the only thing that I am planning on utilizing of dirt roads to main locations. All the other dirt roads we're going to have be kind of like red herrings, where players assume that the dirt roads means a link between houses, when in reality, it doesn't. It's more just random. Let's do one more. And now, this layer is going to be our layer. This layer is going to be the layer that we will finalize and put into the game. Right? Or at the very least, it will be what we will put as kind of like a almost like a temporary PNG that we will then put the shapes onto, right? So should we do thick line? Oh, we're on the wrong one, aren't we? Yep. Sorry, just needs to and then actually, let's go ahead and do, well, which layer was it? It was view grid. And then if we do snap to grid, yeah, there we go. Make it a little more official, you know what I mean? Actually, we'll do the one below it. Okay. I'm thinking something like that. Four, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4x4 grid here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. We want to make the middle be symmetrical. Well, actually, here's the question, right? I don't think this is symmetrical. Can I count? How can I count this? Is there a counter? Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this needs to go down considerably. Or do we want it to go down? Do we like the idea of asymmetric middle area, right? Does it have to be the middle? I feel like it kind of should be, right? Let's make a 4x4 square in the direct middle and see what happens. So we have 15 by 10. So that's 11, 14, 12, 13. Well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Yeah, it is. We are off by a little tiny bit. Let's see here. View. Top left, number of divisions 4. What, 5? 3 maybe? Let's try 5. More counting! Yay! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Okay. We now have a good division. So we need to go 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's count it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. Okay, so 32. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Which one is right? Okay, do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Okay. Second one is correct. Oop. Okay. So the 32 is the halfway mark, and this is the halfway mark. Why does that look bad? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It's 18, Idealist. It's 18. 18. 36 divided by 2 is 18. Idealist. Whatever. Let me do something stupid real quick. Just bear with me. If I calculate this pixels divided by 5, 56. Okay. just making sure. Because 32 18, it's fine. Okay, so the exact middle let's actually get this down a little bit. It don't need to be that big. Okay, just making sure. So it's this line. So this is middle. I was like, why is there a line showing? It's because I still had the only erase to grid kind of deal. So it was like erasing all but like a little bit. Oh, no. No, this is right. That is exact middle. So what we would want bro. All right, fine. You know what? Let's go ahead and just there. And then now, we just do this. Easy peasy. So now we take off of this. We go 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. No. It was only 2, wasn't it? 1, 2, 2, then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's like those little square pretzels. This is the direct middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay. So how big do we want the houses to be, right? If our roads are one line big, let's say, how much do we want to make it so it's like, oh, so this is a house. A 2x2? If I say 2x2 is fine for a house. Now, the question you may ask me, it's like, Idealist, I thought we didn't want a grid. It's true we don't. But I think it's easier to draw in these straight lines and then break them later than try to do it the other way around. So I may have lied. This might not be the final version. But at least it's the closest that we're going to get before the final version, really. After all, we want the roundabout to be circle, not square. Or maybe we do want it square. Aesthetically, it could be, you know. I would argue... Oh, no. I would argue this. I'm trying to see if this is enough to... That's enough to erase it. Okay. That is fine. Honestly, why is this here? Oh. So we don't want that upper one. It would kind of equal to this. We would go ahead and eliminate this. Let's go up here. Let's go ahead and everything's going to be a little bit off just because they're not on the line. So we're going to go ahead and undo this real quick. A little bit like that, a little bit like that. Clean this up a little bit. Now, okay. Gas station, hardware, cable company over there. Then we have... actually... Yeah, we'll do that. Oh, wow. Didn't realize this wasn't on a grid down here either. And now, there we go. And then instead of turning right, we turn left. So they drive in from this side, because I'm also trying to think of it as far as how do they get here, right? I would say driving into the town in the beginning of the game, that's when you would kind of get to look around at the town and kind of get your bearings. So you would probably want to come in from up here and then kind of like go down this way and then like slowly go around the middle of the area and then go down to the down right. Because otherwise, if you can come in from on this side, you don't get to really see the town all that much, which is fine. But in the beginning of the game, I think it would be a good way to solidify how everything is, you know? So then we got this, then we got hospital. Where we're located. Honestly, this would be, the firehouse would be like that. It would be a straight way. There's no way it wouldn't be. Which means we definitely need something in like here. Wait, we can do diagonal? We can do diagonal. Excellent. Okay. So in that case, let's go ahead and do like... Let's do that. We will have... What should we have? I'm trying to think of like maybe a different color for like houses slash, because I almost was going to go just straight into making the park, but I kind of want to put a different color to it, or different line thickness, or both. We could just draw, because as long as we're aligned to the grid, I don't think it matters all that much. Right? Yeah, see? I'm thinking 2 in each direction is the park. So this is the size of the park. That's what I'm thinking. I guess doing the line doesn't matter all that much when you are going to a grid. But you know what? We're still gonna roll with it. So that's the park. Do we want areas of importance to all be green, or do we kind of want to separate it by color? If we do too many colors, I feel like it's going to be complicated. Let's just stick to green for now. So we have the hospital. Nope. Nope. All right, let's see here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's a 10 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's make it 1 less. Yeah, the hospital is a 5 by 10. One, two, three, 4. And I'm thinking of 4 by 4 for our location, and then a firehouse. A firehouse is pretty big, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Should we move it 1 more forward? I'm thinking like 4 by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Should we just move this? Maybe something like this. It feels a little too far down for my liking. Personally. Right? Because I might as well just do it at that point, you know what I mean? Which is why I liked this one. Would the firehouse need to be bigger than the hospital? Probably not, right? So let's make the firehouse smaller. Oh, wow. Okay. We will make it... Should we just try 3? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3. What if we did 2 by 8? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2. Like that. That feels fun. That feels good, right? That feels fine. If anything, I would say... If anything, I would say... I would almost want to... move this up 1. Wow. This doesn't also snap to grid. That's unfortunate. So we'll go ahead and draw 1 more. Like this. There we go. And then what we're gonna do there we go. We're gonna have kind of like that. Right? And then halfway to this, we'll be over here. Maybe there'll just be another way where they just could immediately turn right. I feel like having a fire truck, an emergency situation, and a hospital all on the same single road is a recipe for disaster. Maybe not. Maybe not. And that does leave like a perfect opportunity for something right there. Maybe the cable should be right here in the middle. I don't know. Okay. So down here is what I have as far as like potential general store stuff. Maybe we should just focus on the school stuff for now. So for the school, we kinda are like, I kinda want to leave it the same thing as like the hospital, right? In which 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? Is that what this was? Oh, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 5 by 10. Excuse me. Having that be way over there. I almost want to flip it. You know what I mean? Because if we flip it, then I think we'll just have the residential just be behind the school. So what I'm kind of thinking is like, it's almost like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? Let's start from here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5. Oop. There we go. Got that. And then you would have the roads. Be like this. And then this whole back area would be residential. And then we're gonna just kind of have like a kind of like that. I'm also considering switching up the cable company and the hardware store. Also, the gas station doesn't need to be that big. The gas station is as big as the freaking hospital. Nah, bro, it's a gas station. It's a small gas station. Like maybe a little bit bigger. Like as far as the 911, would I say it's bigger than the 911 operator facility? Probably not. So I would say kind of like 1, 2. One more up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. That's the gas station. Nothing crazy. Actually, speaking of nothing crazy, let's go ahead and actually do it down this level. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we want anything that's immediately off the road is within one block off the road. I think anything that would be like, oh, it has like a big parking lot, or oh, you kind of have to go down a little bit of a road, then we can do more than one block. So I'm thinking, do we want to move the school then? A little bit, actually. Let's move them one more down that way. There we go. And then cut it short. Boom, boom. That gives us a little bit more room for the residential area. So we're gonna have houses on both sides, because I believe, what color should we do this? Houses will be purple. We'll stay on theme. We'll do that. Boom, boom. It needs darker purple than that. That barely stands out, especially against the gray. Better. So like, kind of like that. Do we want neighbors in front of each other? I mean, in a realistic scenario, right? You would have neighbors in front of you and beside you. But that's a lot of houses. Because I think we're only making like, what, 23? We're only making 23 houses, and we have 2 different locations, as well as some sporadic housing for transmission of the infection. Then we don't want to just shove like half of the housing that we have right now into like this little spot. So I almost want to say every other. Like this. And then we're gonna have like this. I forgot to, for sky effects, I put realistic graphics to it, so city will be more alive. That's pretty cool. That's also one of the things that's often overlooked too, so excellent that you thought of that. Then we would have like something like this. And I'm thinking maybe this, but that one doesn't fit quite right. This one also doesn't fit quite right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 houses. 2 immediate vicinity locations from the school. Because let's think it, right? School gets taken over by the infected. Because the way that the school we want to design around is that when a larger location that we deem as kind of like spreaders, right? They are able to connect with a lot of different connections at once. And the way that this is built instead is it's kind of like, oh, now they have access to a new chain of houses that they didn't before without taking the school. So you've kind of open Pandora's box in a sense, which is not a bad way of thinking about it as far as design goes, right? If anything, it adds more pressure as far as like, oh, I need to defend the school. Because if not, these guys, the only reason these guys haven't succumbed is because of we've been blocking the school. But I also like this because of the things happening over to the right here with the cable. With a do we want this to be cable company? I almost want this to be hardware store. Do we want hardware store or cable company on the top right? As far as potentially losing that, because if whatever this is, let's see here, it will be 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Is that how big we're gonna make it? That seems too small. We might need to shift the road a little bit more. I'm thinking like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe something like that. That's not terrible. Gives it what feels like a little bit of space between the housing over there. The road doesn't have to be exactly in the middle. We actually have quite a few situations here where that's not the case. Okay. It's not terrible. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have a 4 by 8 facility, which is, I think, the same as the firehouse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So we're saying a hardware store is the same size as a firehouse. I would actually say the firehouse is probably smaller, but I don't think I mind as much. I basically just want to make sure that we're not saying a hospital is the same size as a gas station. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want where it's just like, really? You think that? You really think a gas station is as big as a school? Like, I want to make the sizes fairly approximately relative, I guess is a good way of putting it. Where it's like, it's not going to be exact where I'm like, the average circumference of the hardware stores are actually this amount of meters. So I'll make every block in this map be equal to 5 meters. So no, that's, bro, we don't got that kind of time or energy or intellect, really. I could go down that route, but man, is that just like that's an ADHD level kind of distraction. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I was gonna say pretty much perfect, and then I opened my mouth and then made a mistake. And then we can decide if we want the cable company or the hardware to take up. And also, I don't think how big are cable companies? Hold up, wait a second. What does a cable company even look like? Cable company building. What do you look like, cable company? What are you? Who are you? When are you? Some of them are like big buildings. We're not doing that. These aren't skyscrapers. These aren't New York City skyscraper cable buildings. This ain't AT&T. This is a cable/news network for a small town. This is just a building, which is not Not huge, but relatively sized. I would put it... What would I put it as? I have no idea. I don't know what I would put it as. I would put it as... I would actually do it smaller. So if we're not going to have the because also hardware store, certainly a hardware store is bigger than a cable company / news network. They just have a big dish. So do we want... We just gotta have to make that decision. Do we want the cable company nearest to the houses that if they lose the cable company, then that means the houses now have a new weak spot? Or do we want the hardware store to be lost before houses are now in danger? I don't like either one, to be honest, because losing the cable company means that you don't have access to the emergency broadcast system, as well as access they'll start spreading false information. So already a negative, super negative happens. For city games, ideas is add street lights and stop signs and traffic lights too. Awesome. So you decide as far as where to place it or how to place it? Or like what kind to put? Like a theme kind of or feel of it? Nice. Okay. That's pretty good. Because I at least haven't played any games where it's just kind of like you kind of choose the theme of the city that you're building. Or it's like, I like these kinds of signs. I like these kinds of lights. That's kind of neat. Because usually thematics tend to be fairly stagnant. Unless you're talking about like on the person changes. So yeah, pretty cool. So and then if you lose the hardware store though, if you lose the hardware store, people will lose the ability to defend themselves against the mimics breaking in. So that already is a pretty negative in that now they lose the ability to defend themselves and or bunker down. So to have a situation where you no longer can give information to the residents, or you also don't have the ability to have them bunker down, and then also there's now a new way that things can get infected, feels like we're double dipping a bit. Like the loss is too strong. It feels like it should be one or the other, shouldn't be both. So if that's the case, then what do we want? What do we have that's kind of like, oh, if you lose it, it's kind of whatever. But now in this location, there's more of a consequence that we actually care about. Maybe a liquor store? Maybe a liquor store. Oh, actually, that's not a bad idea. All right, hear me out. So currently we have the liquor store located on the bottom left, right? So we have the liquor store down here on the bottom left because I had that location be more of a rundown part of town. You would have like a church, you would have abandoned buildings, or at least abandoned like factories of what used to work there. Overall, on the west side of the town was going to be where the town was originally built. There's older housing, there's older people living there, but it's more spread out. And then you move east and it becomes a little bit more like, oh, we're building on top of this. We're trying to revitalize the town. We're trying to revitalize the city, adding some things to it, and making a good school, bringing in jobs, bringing in people. I don't know why it took so long to get emergency situations in. Let's just say they had one and then they had to move it or whatever. Which is why I was like, oh, liquor store, perfect. It's people who are in that area tend to not be in the best place, so they would want to have vices to then indulge in. And it's not like I'm going to throw a casino in this small town or anything like that. Actually, do small towns have casinos? Probably not, right? But at the same time, it's like one of those things where it's like, I could see a governor of a small town being like, let's build a casino. That will bring all the people in. All the tourists will come in. And then it totally just doesn't pan out. But no. But if we flip it and have the cable company be in the crummy powder town, that could be interesting. Because the overall story of the guy the news anchor that works there, or we haven't decided whether or not it's going to be the main anchor or maybe the intern that's like power hungry, but overall the feel of the person who is broadcasting the news is that they are stuck in a small town just covering really dumb news, and they're hungry. They're like, one day I'm going to be a news anchor of a big city and I'm gonna make it, and I'm tired of this backwater town. I'm better than all of you, like that kind of like feel to them. And what better way to kind of reinforce that behavior than to stick the cable company to the shitty part of town. He's just like, son of, it's like there's abandoned things here and this sucks. Like maybe it's like a repurposed radio station or something like that. And then you would have the liquor store up on the top right, which we didn't really have a whole lot of consequences tied to losing it. We just kind of liked the idea of having people call in the emergency number, and then they'll be really slurred and they'll be difficult to understand, and you don't know if it's because they are like imposters, they're mimics, or because they're drunk. Like it adds that extra layer of difficulty of like, oh damn, is this just a drunkard calling, or is there actually something here that we actually need to allocate resources that we may or may not have, right? So, but I like that, I honestly do. So we're gonna go ahead, if this is the liquor store, then let's go ahead and we'll do 4x4. Where are you? Oh, did I change the, sometimes it's like, oh, did you choose this color? No, I didn't. Okay, so we're gonna make the liquor store there a 4x4 liquor store. That sounds about right as far as the size goes. It's about the same size as the 911 operator facility. It's not nearly as big as the hardware store. It's fine. And then over here, let's go ahead and kind of change up our wording here a little bit. Liquor store. Oh. Not stick to group anymore. Cable company. And then we'll have liquor store. Apologize for my horrible handwriting. I have been told by multiple people that I have the worst handwriting they have ever seen. I had my anatomy teacher in college. He walked up to me and he handed it to me, and he was retiring that year. And he looked at me and it was like, idealist. Of course, he didn't say idealist. I have been teaching for 20 years, and you have by far the worst handwriting I've ever seen. I'm like, thank you. What an honor. Appreciate that. and this was the same teacher. His name was Dr. Merkel, and he told a story that I will now share to you, which was honestly just scarring. He was trying to be funny. He was trying his best. That poor man. And he was like, because we were talking about neurons, right? We were talking about nerve cells. And his name is Dr. Merkel, and there was a type of nerve cell called a Merkel cell. And he told a story where he had, quote unquote, a student who walked up to him and told him that because of the way that he taught Merkel cells, which, by the way, were neurons that specifically had to deal with pleasure, that she thought of him during sex. Because of the pleasure neurons. And it was dead silent in that classroom when he told that story. No one laughed. Not a single person laughed. That poor man. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. But I still remember it. I still remember that story, and I still remember Merkel cells are pleasure neurons. Also, I don't know if that's I'm pretty sure that's a curse for people, for the idea of whenever I have sex, I think of my like really old anatomy teacher. I feel like that would ruin it for me. It's like, well, I guess I'm asexual now. Oh man. All right. Sorry. Bad handwriting aside. This is why I like typing. Also, it takes forever to write things out on handwriting. I'm not a fan of how slow it is. But I don't got a keyboard with this iPad, so that's what we're running with. So we got liquor store on the top right that we actually care about now because it's near the housing, and then it doesn't matter if we defend the school. If they come out from behind, I'll guess I'll die. Yeah. So liquor store, hardware store, gas station we kind of reduced the size of, so we could potentially put in some extra shenanigans there. Especially if we move the gas station a little bit more to the right. It gives us room to kind of mess around in, right? Because we have the firehouse, we have all that over there. We can actually move the firehouse a little bit more up, I want to say. In fact, why don't we do that? Oh, I am on the wrong layer. Nope. I was like, wow, this looks like my horrible line work. That's because it was not linked to my lines. There we go. There we go. Give it a little bit more breathing room. I like keeping at least like 2 squares away, right? We don't want them too close. Well, if we don't want them too close... I'm just trying to think as far as just like... These people have like huge yards. I might move all that forward one. Maybe? Let's see how that looks. We can move the liquor store a little bit too. We can do it like that. Get that road in. It's been a while since we actually made a road. Yeah. Okay. That's a little better. As far as just how close the houses are to the school, I don't know, man. Well, I guess we have to do red herrings as well, right? So, like, in addition to dirt roads where they're, like, connected, but not really connected, we could do fencing. Like, it's a gated housing suburban place. Whatever the hell that is. Gated community. There it is. And then it's just like, oh, it's fine because there's fences, and it's like, nah. nah, that doesn't do nothing. The false sense of security as well as a false sense of vulnerability. Let's actually do that now that I think about it. So how should we go about it? Actually, we could just keep that. Let's make it slightly different color. I was hoping it would be different enough, but we could do white. No, let's not do white. Different shade of gray. We could do really dark. What would be good? Maybe red. Red for red herring. It's not terrible. And we can adjust the road accordingly. There we go. Red for red herring. Let's adjust the road accordingly. Boom. And then we'll probably just have it here. A little less. Boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. It's a little crowded. We'll leave it for now. Maybe we'll do like this little number. That's a little better. Okay, so we got liquor store nearby, we got hardware store, we had gas station, we have fire department, we have 911 center, we have hospitals. We moved the cable company to the bad part of town, reinforcing the fact that the guy really doesn't want to be there. So he's looking for every opportunity for a good story so he could be picked up by a much bigger news network and move out of the town. That is not bad so far. I did draw some off-roads just because I had the mindset of that area being taken over, thus losing the opportunity, but we removed the community center anyway. Let's pick like a little bit of a silver, or should we do copper? Yeah, let's do like a copper, like a bronze statue. There we go. The bronze statue is in the middle. We know that. That's there to remind me, right? Do we need to make an asset for that? We do need to make assets for... Well, I don't think we need... No, we probably still need to make we need to make... We made an asset for all 3 emergency vehicles, which are just literally a square. But we should probably also make one for the rest of these, huh? But anyway, we were thinking about actually adding the streets here. But that's with the idea that the main roads are going to be out. Let's see here. Actually, let's finish out the in and out, right? So we have that, we have that. So that's the way out. I don't know how I feel about that one. If that's the way out, then it would be a main road, wouldn't it? You wouldn't have a whole lot of... No, that's not always the case. It would just be, you know... Let's see. It would be something like that, right? It's fine. We'll fix it. And then we have like offsets where you kind of go off, and it'll have like different roads, which will end at a cul-de-sac. And then over here, oh. I wonder if there is logic as far as how the roads split off into different neighborhoods, and I'm just missing it. Because for the most part, I'm just kind of like making shit up. I don't know how I feel about it. Church. Then we have the cable. I feel like there should be another road here. And then a church. What would that be? Would a church be 4x4? I feel like a church would be a 4x4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, let's see here. Let's go ahead and minus that up a bit. Well, if we do it the way that I have it written here, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Be more like this. So it'd be closer to like a hardware store size, which is a huge church. This is not one of those super churches. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I almost want to say kind of like that. I also feel like there's no need for that thing. I almost feel like it should just be like that. And then in that case, I might as well just move this down. And then just move kind of like that. That's a little better. Then we have the cable station, which I believe is going to be a little bigger than a 4x4. It's more like, the way I have it here is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the cable station is a 3x6. I kind of feel like it should be a 4x8. That's 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kind of like that. Would a cable station be as big as a hardware store? What would be a good size then? Definitely bigger than a gas station. Definitely bigger than what the 911 operator area would be. It is a cable area. It's a cable company / news area, right? It's certainly not a 5x10, 4x8. Maybe 3x6 is the good one. Three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe 3x6 is good. Hold on, let's see here. Let's see if I can understand this. 3x6 is 18, and a 4x4 is 16. So it's not much bigger than a church / 911 operator / gas station. It's only like a little bigger. But a 4x8 would be 32? Alright. Unless I'm stupid. Which I may be. Yeah. It just looks so small. It feels like I should just do a 4x4. Let's think on that. We'll put that on the back burner, right? And we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do 2 this way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do a 5x10 for the abandoned. The abandoned should be further down. Should be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. That's not bad. It's not bad at all, actually. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I feel like this stream's gonna be a lot about me counting squares. But I'm making a map, so I feel like that's kind of... Now, question then. Could I just make a ruler? Nah, that doesn't help much. I mean, it does help, kinda. I still have to look at that, right? Okay, so we'll do like that. And then we will do red herring. Let's see. Okay. Okay. That's not terrible, because a lot of this up left area is going to be houses. We have a lot on the up right near the school. Makes sense. You can think of it as like, this is the rich part of town. Close to the school, and also everything that you may need. Let's go ahead and move back to here. Get the line. I always want to say the general store's like right in the middle here. General store, we'll have that be same dealio as the hardware store and the school. 5x10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So then well, now we have kind of like a similar issue before, where it's like, oh, there isn't a lot of place for housing, etc. But you also don't want to build houses right next to an abandoned building. So what if we do something similar in the sense of, because right now we have a similar problem as before regarding the liquor store, right? If we lose the abandoned buildings, who cares? They're abandoned buildings. Who gives a shit? The game should be less about, oh, you can take that, and more of a, oh no, I have to choose between two important things. It's a game made for you to have to make difficult decisions as far as which one do you want to save more, which will inevitably lead to your downfall regardless what situation you decide to move forward with. And I don't know. Because of that, if they end up taking the abandoned building, we want a consequence that they don't want to happen. So in this case, cucumber. Why are you saying that, Lux? I think if we make it so that the general store is next to the abandoned building, then you have to worry about the general store being taken, thus leading to more problems, right? And that's different from the school, where it doesn't look like there's anything that could potentially lead into the school besides just kind of like random housing that are kind of near. Whereas this one, it's like, oh, if you lose a quote-unquote useless area, it now opens the gates for an even better advantaged area that are now going to be taken. So what if... Let's go ahead and erase this. So what if... Not 2 blocks, let's say like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe? Map is very map. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have tried my hardest to make it map. Does it look very map-like? Is it a map that you would map? I don't feel like it's a map that I would map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe something like Merle. But you map the right... I am mapping right now. I am mapping as we speak. This is true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Yeah. Okay. So we got... The general store is now in danger because you let the abandoned building go. And then if you let the general store go, then you have all these other housings that are now at risk because you let it go. And the housing is now choosing to be closer to the hospital. Thank you. I am doing what I can as far as trying to make it feel like a maybe not hyper-realistic small town map, but at least one that you would believe in if you were to look at it. Because it's what's the player's going to be looking at most, if not all, of the game. So I want it to be, you know, good. If the thing that the player is interacting with is not good, they're not going to have fun with it. So what if we do... And that kind of leaves some... I also like this because it leaves open areas. It allows us to think as far as strategically how we want the infection to spread, how we want the... what's it called? Immersive narrative? I want to say is the name of it. It's the narrative that kind of naturally progresses due to the decisions that the player makes. So we want situations where it makes them make tough choices and then the story unfolds in a unique way just because depending on the decisions depends on which order in the story in their head and how they justify what things are happening without the game having to like spell it all out. Plus, I'm always a big fan of people talking about a game that they played in that the experience that they had and it being completely different from another experience that someone else had. Especially since we're trying to aim for the trifecta, which is a game that's fun to watch, a game that's fun to play, and a game that's fun to play after you watch it. In this day and age, you gotta have all three. Because otherwise, well, I won't say you have to have all three, but it's definitely very good if you manage to get all three. So we want something that's like, oh, I watched someone else play this and it's not the exact same experience that I watched. It's something that's a little different, a little unique. Plus that increases replayability, and that's never a bad thing, you know? We certainly don't want to do that in a crappy way. And then, let's see here. Then we'll have... 2 away seems fine. The 2 away gives the impression of parking lot, at least to me. I mean, what we could do is that we could draw a parking lot. I don't think we need to. That's getting a little bit in the nitty-gritty that we don't really need to go into. And then... I kind of want... like 1, 2, 3. How thick did we make these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it looks like we do 3 per bend. Maybe 4 per bend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I almost want to say 4. Let's see what 4 looks like. And then we do 2 by 2. That's not terrible. But it's uneven as hell. We can make the spacing be a little different. It could be just as boring if you make the allocation of houses be exactly the same, just in 2 different parts. So we can have it be like a little closer. Maybe a little bit more of like a low-income housing kind of deal. Or we can shift it up some. I don't know what kind of bias I'm pulling out with the idea of, oh, the people who live closer to food would probably be poorer compared to the people who would live near a school district. I don't know where I'm getting that kind of idea from. It's amazing what kind of biases come out of the woodwork when you're trying to make something. Four seems like a good one. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. I kind of wanted to make this be like a loop over here. Kind of like draw femboys. Where am I gonna draw femboys on a map, Lux? Is it gonna be the roads? Is the roads gonna become a femboy? Am I gonna make the whole city be like the outline of a dodo? Not that I'm implying that dodos are femboys, but it was literally just something I was thinking about as far as like making the shapes of the roads into something. Let's see here. We would want... I want a circle. Which is difficult to do when you are on a map like this. Femboy Dodo City. Oh my gosh. Welcome to Femboy Dodo City. This is a horror game. Trust me, this is a horror game. That would be crazy. To have like a ridiculous name. Like, what if it's just hyphenated? It was like FMC, like FM City. And not FM. Why did I think FM? Because of Femboy, probably. Like FD. Welcome to FD City. And they're just, what does FD stand for? And you find out that it's Femboy Dodo City. That would be so stupid. Not bad though. Honestly, not bad. Let's see. So we want... The way that I was thinking about it, it was we would have houses on the outer ring. Hi Shorsha, how you doing? Currently finally finishing up the map of the game. I was always thinking it was like maybe something like this. Kind of like that. Maybe. It's not terrible. Me and two of my friends came for a sleepover. Oh, that's awesome. Did you stay up way too late, play video games, drink way too much, like, soda you shouldn't be drinking? At least that's what I did for mine. Let's see. Switch back to this. Let's go back to making the road. And then it's like... kind of like that. I feel like it needs to be just a little bit more down. Like if we shifted it all back a little bit and then back a little more. Stayed up till like 1 a.m. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's exactly what you want to hear. I'm glad you had a good time. It's always fun to do stuff like that. Actually, let's go ahead and let's do the road first. Nope. I feel like that's not long enough. No, maybe we should do the houses first. This year, for the end of the school year dance party, I basically got chosen as the DJ. Oh, that's awesome! Because I requested to make a Spotify playlist for the party. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Okay, and then we'll do... There we go. And boop, boop, boop. I like this one more, but I kind of want to shift the side houses down one more. Do we also want to make this gated? I don't know if I want to make this gated, actually. Just asking, but did you check out the things I recommended? Yes! Yes, I did. I didn't, granted, I didn't listen to Shine On, but I did check out Popcross Studios, and I did check out Merryweather Media Lovecraft Girls. I actually read Lovecraft Girls. It was pretty good. I liked it. It wasn't what I expected. I was also expecting the chapters to be a little bit longer, but no complaints from me. It seemed like it's pretty cool. So I look forward to see updates for that. And then move these back one more. Which character was your favorite? I cannot pronounce her name, but it was the dark-skinned one with the green powers. Not the yellow king, the other one. She was my favorite. Cthulhu was also pretty adorable. I'll definitely give her that. Yeah. I'm not even going to begin to try to pronounce that. First of all, I might summon her, and I don't want to. Second, you know. Actually, you know what? It is so hot in here. Let's go ahead and turn down the heat. Or turn up. The AC? I don't know. Temperature to go down. That's what I want. How about you? What's your favorite? So now I feel like it's too close to... Let's do... just this one. I like that one. I like all of them, to be honest. Each have their own characteristics that make them unique and enjoyable. I very much agree. The characterization of that is solid. It's very good. I didn't feel any of them were like flat or one-dimensional. I like how they're kind of playing on the fact of like they were supposed to destroy humanity, but they're too busy just enjoying humanity. And you could definitely tell where the direction is going with like Cthulhu, where it's just like, oh, now she's just gonna be Sweet Tooth. But that's like, it's part of the charm, you know, where it's like they kind of each have their own like vice in a way. Granted, I think the King in Yellow, is the King in Yellow's vice just money? Because I know for Nyarlathotep, I guess I have no idea how to pronounce that. Hers was like dramas, right? Where she just loves the drama of humanity. So I found that one pretty funny, where they just like, we're supposed to kill them all, but they do make some pretty good stuff. So maybe I'll drag my feet a bit. Which is why, like, my only complaint is that the chapters are short. Which is a good complaint to have, really. Of like, there's not enough is a good complaint to have. Bring in these. I like where those houses are now. So we have 6, we have 11. We have 11 here, we have 8 here. That's 19. I did say 23 houses. We might go a little more. That does increase our workload, which is unfortunate. But if it makes the map feel better, we kind of go with like map feel first before. That's why we're figuring out the map before we write all the different people as far as what they say and how they say it. Obviously, I'm trying to say a word that I've forgotten. Script before we write the script. Okay. As far as locations, surprisingly, I was like, we're gonna have like 13 locations. That's way too much. And now I'm like, we could probably fit a few more. We could actually fit quite a bit. We're actually gonna make this one be a slightly different color. Because that's the infected house. That's the house. Just wondering, but in case you're okay with it, could you listen to Shine On soon? It's probably one of my favorite songs because of the song's pattern singing from calm and emotional to more rockin'. Yeah. I'll try to make sure I do that sometime today. I'll put it in the background while I'm like editing stuff. I need to make a few more shorts anyway. I recently just heard Do Not Resurrect, and I've been kind of like binging him. It's kind of like if you mixed metal with rap, but just a really deep voice with almost like synth instrumentals. It's weird. It's like, it's not usually what I would listen to, but every once in a while I come across someone where I'm just like, I'm not usually a fan of this kind of stuff, but it's kind of slaps. But yeah, I'll watch that sometime or listen to that sometime today. Let's see. So we have a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of open space, but we have a good amount of places that we can fill in. And that doesn't mean we can just fill in the houses willy-nilly, mind you. So we have kind of like a... Do we want to get around these? I say no. We can think of them being houses that are closest together, no gate around them, kind of gives that feeling of like low income housing kind of deal. And then you have like more spread apart. Oh, great. Am my iPad gonna die before my stream was supposed to end? That's kind of cringe. Cringe. Let's see. We do. Because usually when it comes down these roads, you would have like a house here, like a house here. You wouldn't have like a house here. You wouldn't have a road that would just lead directly into a house, right? Unless it's like a big house. Should we have a big house, now that I think about it? What if we should have a big house? What if we should have a rich house? That's the descendant of the one who founded this town, right? That could be interesting. Kind of like a mansion, quote unquote. Something like that. Because then it would lead up. Or what we could do, we could have the first introduction of a red herring. That could be interesting. Here's a way to win in a wrestling match. First distract target. Whoa, what? Hold on. Why are you giving me instructions on how to win a wrestling match? First distract target, then block his blind jab, counter. Oh, okay. Counter, cross, left cheek, discombobulate, daze, deal attempt to. Is this one like copy pasta? Employ, elbow block, body block, block feral left. Feral left. Movie? Okay. Weaken right jaw, now fracture. Oh! This is, This is... I was gonna say James Bond. Nope. The really smart detective. Sherlock Holmes. This is Sherlock Holmes, isn't it? Yep. Yep. It took me a second. I got there. Man, it's been forever since I've seen that movie. Yeah. Let's do red herring. Yeah, Robert John. I thought he did a really good job in that movie, personally. Do roads usually just end? Like side roads? Do they usually just end? Or do they usually like loop? Hold on, let me Google. I'm not just gonna Google, do roads just end? Small town map. Just looking at examples of some small town maps. Let's see. Yeah, I had a feeling it was just like, oh, I mean, it will end. Not really. It looks like they always loop for the most part. Not always, actually. Go to bed since I have Frankenstein to finish reading for tomorrow at school. Good luck with that. I'll see you soon. Hope you listen to music. Thank you very much. Good luck with the book. Hopefully you pass that test and you'll fully understand the the information. Have a good night. I'll be sure to give it a listen. Let's see. Let us see. Let us see. Introduction to an early red herring. The house gets taken out even though it doesn't really have a road leading directly to it. So what if we did something like that? And then let's have the red one be a little bit further to the right. Right here. It's not terrible. So then... So we have a couple houses here and there. Then we'll have like a house that are like here. Like a house like here. House here. Where else should we put a house? This area is just kind of like abandoned buildings. There's a cable area there. We're gonna have to think as far as stepping stones, right? So I'm thinking there's like something here. It's a little bit too diagonally, you know what I'm saying? It looks like I did two diagonal lines, was just like, these houses look good. Maybe I make it down like here. And then this a little bit further along this way. And then kind of want to put another one here and then like one down here. Because I'm trying to think of the spread, right? So you start on the top left and you can go in 3 different directions. Well, I guess in this case there's only really 2 directions, right? You can either go towards the school. I feel like there should be something across the school. You know? But what would be across the school? Like, I feel like this area isn't being used properly, and I think this area isn't being utilized properly. So I almost want to do like a mall or a shopping center. You know what I mean? Because right now there's kind of like, there's definitely a left where it's like this way. And then there's kind of a this way. But there isn't really like a this way. But you could definitely see like, oh, pop down here, goes down here, then goes up here, and then can go like this, and then you die. But going this way, it kind of goes this way. It's like, but why would you go that way, right? Very safe. What was that first one, Lux? I was gonna say, which one? Oh man. I mean, I can kind of see this route go down and then up, etc. and they could kind of split off this way. But I don't know. I don't know. I feel like these houses here doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. This is fine. I feel like there needs to be something here and there needs to be something here. So we need to come up with two, almost like a shopping mall district thing. Let's just put some green down and see how that looks, right? We would have like something like right here. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, I did that intuitively. Hell yeah. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, like a 4x8 here. See how it kind of fills in the space a little better? Where's our laundromat? I don't think we need a 4x8 laundromat. That's such a big laundromat. There would be nothing else. There has to be a laundromat says something else. What would you combine a laundromat with? If you could combine a laundromat where you wash clothes with anything. A mat laundry? Like the laundromat and it says Matt's Laundry? Actually, I kind of like the idea of a laundromat called Matt's Laundry. Like MATT''S. So we're kind of... I'm writing that down. I don't know why I love it so much, but I do. Let's see here. We're going to do names. Wait, didn't I already do a name thing? I feel like I already did a name thing. It's on a different tab? Yeah, names. Laundry. Matt's Laundry. That's just funny. I like that. So... But what would we combine it with? And not a Matt Laundry. I guess it could also be dry cleaning. I guess. But that also wouldn't... That would still be a very small thing. It would be a very small place. My mind goes to like, what would you utilize? What would you do that would make dirty clothes? You know what I mean? Where it's like, cool, you go to a place to get dirty and then you would have a place to get your clothes cleaned. Maybe like a gym? Do we maybe want like a gym / laundromat kind of situation where it's like, cool, you're stinky. Just take a shower, get a change of clothes, and then just do your whole dirty clothes then and there. Well, we'll just have to think about it next time, because we have now reached a battery limit. So we'll just end a little bit earlier today, unfortunately. Next time I'll try to make sure to charge the thing all the way before we get started. I honestly thought we would be done, but that's all right. That's okay. Just a little bit more, and then we'll just be finally done with the map. So, thank all of you who have joined me today. And tomorrow, feel free to join me tomorrow. We'll be playing some more Alien Isolation. And yeah. Without further ado, thank you all, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care.